Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another amazing opportunity to focus on health. That is our theme for this month is health. I'm going to say hello to everybody. I'll then introduce you to my guest. She's not a stranger. She has been here before. Hello, Chris. Thank you for being here. Cindy, hello. Hello from Iowa. Hello. Chris, is your mom watching? Michelle Mibel, hello, 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 Stacy and Priscilla and Joy and Lily, good to see you. Hi, Jamie and Desiree, Rachel Elizabeth, hey, 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 it's Rachel Elizabeth. And Sherry, hello, you made it, hello, thank you. Delora, sending you both bubbles of joy. Delora's in our class, she's our classmate. Tatiana, hello. Thank you for being here. Facebook user, oh my God, who are you? Say hi. Let me know who you are. Hello, Vicky and Cheryl. Hello, Mamala. How are you? Susan Romero, hello. Love the pictures, Susan. Mandy, hello. Oh, mom's not feeling well. Tell her I hope she feels better. Joy, hi. Hi, Joy. Kelly Knight, hi, Kelly Knight. Hi, hi. And Condi, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Come on in, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from while I introduce you to my guest for this evening. Um, Danette and I met 4 years ago.
Yeah,
4 years ago. Isn't that crazy to say
crazy,
that?
crazy.
Um, so we were doing um speaker program, doing all this stuff, doing all the fun stuff. And Jeanette came to the Sedona Celebrate Your Life's experience. We'll just call it an experience because it was. And we were chatting, and then I was like, "Oh, are you going to the next Celebrate Your Life when it came available?" And that was in Scottsdale. And Jeanette was there. I was there. Delora was there. Rachel Elizabeth was there. Several other people. Rose, I don't think is on here. Laura Bryant was there. We had a big group. Patricia was there. We had a big group with us, at least 11 people that I know. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And then Delora, Danette, and I are doing Dougal Fraser's um, color coaching certification program. And we are using color for coaching. And it's amazing. Don't you think it's fascinating? I think it's just
Yeah,
really, really cool. And I I had my coaching client practice lady today, and she couldn't get on the internet, so now we have to do it on Friday. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But i want I want my amazing guest to share a little bit about her journey. And I know we're going to talk about anxiety, moving through anxiety and getting to the other side. And yes, and thank you, Priscilla. And Danette's her website, as it says underneath her name, is shinefirsttoday.com. So thank you. And it's also on her Facebook uh, page. And Dolores clients tomorrow. It's exciting. Hi, Susan. Thank you for being here. Christy, hello. Thank you for being here. Lisa, hello. Prayers for healing. Jody, all the way from Canada. And Andrea, all the way from Canada. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody, for being here. So, Jeanette, tell everybody, tell everybody. Hi, Michelle. Tell everybody what's going on and how did you get started with what you're doing.
yeah. Well, hello everyone, and what a nice welcome. This is so much fun to be back on the show. Elias and I have really be starting to become really pretty good friends, I think.
Yes.
We've connected through this course, and we've run into each other, and we've been hanging out and really supporting each other on our journeys. And hopefully tonight we can share some tips that'll help all of you on your journeys. And this is something that we're all doing together, which is just lovely. I am a financial planner, financial advisor. I have been for almost 25 years. Surprised I got my license when I was 5, but that's okay.
You coming out of the womb, and you're like pen and
Amazing.
paper in hand, right?
Yeah. And so I'm a numbers girl. I'm a financial person. I'm logical. And in the course of being a business owner, I had panic attacks and anxiety. And I, had a pretty good life. I have a good career, a loving marriage, wonderful kids. I mean, what was I having panic attacks for? And they got so bad that I started to think about like not being here anymore. I started thinking about, I don't think I could spend the rest of my life doing this. And I started actually thinking about not leaving the house because when I left the house, the panic attacks tended to be more frequent. And hi, Christy. Nice to meet you too. And I really started thinking about not leaving the house. And I thought, oh my gosh, right? How can that happen? Like I couldn't even imagine that as the alternative. And so I went on a quest. I called it a quest. And I said, I'm going to learn how to. I was taking medication and it wasn't doing anything to stop the panic attacks from happening. I was still having anxiety. It would make me feel a little bit better after, but it wasn't stopping them from happening. And I think the medication was giving me the thoughts, suicidal ideation. And so I literally said to myself, like my kids playing a video game, I'm going to go on a quest. And my quest is going to be to learn how to end panic attacks and anxiety without taking medication. And so that's what I did. And I learned how to meditate. And in the class of meditation, the first one I took, the lady that was guiding the meditation, she goes, focus on your 7th chakra. And I was like, I don't even know what a chakra is, let alone there's 7. How many are there? I don't know. There's way more than 7, right? I mean,
Right.
Or focus on your root chakra. No clue. So I would then buy a book about chakras and read a book, and then take a class, and then hear about Akashic records and take a class and read a book. And as time went by, I discovered that panic attacks were happening less and less and less, and they became non-existent. And in place of not being anxious and anxiety and worry and all of the things that were happening, in place of that, my career takes off, my relationships improve, my relationships with everyone in the family, with friends and family, either improved greatly or went away, which is also an improvement, right? I mean, there was a few friendships that ended, and I look back now and say that was such an unhealthy relationship. I'm so glad it's over. And I was talking to someone, another financial advisor who has bazillion more clients than I do. I have a very manageable practice, and he was saying that, he says, how was your year? And I said, it was fantastic. I did this, I did this, I did that. I travel, I do all these things. I launched 2 podcasts last year. I've launched a whole second career in business with Shine First. I'm still doing financial planning and all of that. And he says, well, and I was saying some of these things that I had done, and this was a few years ago. And he said, like, I couldn't do that. Like, he's something like, I wish I had your life. And I was like, well, his revenue is probably 3 times more than what I'm making, right? So isn't that the goal, right?
Right.
That isn't the excuse, right? You don't have to get anywhere. Wherever you are today, right in this minute, you can turn that energy draining experience of worry and anxiety and panic attacks that take all your energy, and you can set those aside. You can start to follow your own internal guidance system, which is what I teach. It's 4 steps. I call it CALM. And instead of worrying, you just let the universe, let your internal guidance system, let love tell you what the next move is. And I'll tell you really quick, I had an employee that is also a relative. So I, for the umpteenth time, broke my rule to hire a family member. And after she had the baby, she wasn't feeling good. She was having postpartum. Okay. And we needed to take a break. And this is going to be a really difficult conversation. And the first thing I sat down said to her is, "How are you feeling?" And she just devolved into tears. She says, "I can't remember the last time anyone has asked me that." I mean, it's just the simple thing that we can do for each other. And if I could have spent 2 weeks worrying about having this difficult conversation. Instead, I just scheduled it. I knew we had to have it. I scheduled it. I sat down. I checked in with her. I didn't have anything done in my mind. Does that make sense? So I'm not like thinking about it. I'm not dwelling on it. I'm not ruminating on it. I'm just doing my daily chores. When the conversation came, I just said, "How are you doing in your life?" And then that dictated the rest of the conversation. We had the most lovely conversation. I mean, she's someone I love dearly. And we made a plan together that made both of us happy. So there wasn't even any conflict. So that's how amazing it can be to trust your internal guidance system that we all have. So that's what happened. Was I got to the point that said, could I teach this? And I started, and I built out a whole workshop, which is going to be the outline of my book. And I had myself scheduled to speak at the Atlantis Hotel and Casino in Reno. And then lockdown happened, and COVID came. And everything shifted for all of you as well, I'm sure. And so in the last year, we launched Shine First, and we're getting serious, and we're putting classes together, and I'm doing coaching, and I'm speaking at an event in June to, I was going to say 500. It's not 500. It's about 200 women financial advisors. And so that'll be my first public speech, aside from doing the lives.
I think that's great. I mean, look what you're doing. Look how you're shifting. Look how everything has just opened up for you. And I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I'm sorry, while I was talking, I can see the comments, but I can't read them without my glasses. I'm going to put my glasses on. I'm going to scroll back and check in. I know a few of you.
There's Dolores. She says, IGS, Internal Guidance System.
Internal Guidance System, yeah.
And we just talked about Rose, and she's here.
Hi, Rose.
They're so awful and debilitating. I'm glad you don't have them anymore. And Stacey, glad that Stacey, her husband was having needed prayers because he was having open heart surgery. Is that correct? So prayers, continued prayers. Pamela says, Danette, are you based in Reno?
That's a great question. I'm in Carson City for financial planning, and we have a second house in Portland, Oregon. My son moved my granddaughter up to Portland, so I live and work in both states, mostly in Nevada, and it's open to see. There's lots of places I'd like to be, so I'm completely virtual. I do everything. I do in-person meetings for financial planning. And no one's asked to do life coaching in person yet, but I suppose if they're in Carson or Reno, we could do that.
Okay.
Why did you ask? Are you in Reno?
Uh, Pamela. Yeah, I'm in Reno.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
no, it's okay. It's cool. I
Okay.
love Reno.
Hello, Sharon. We are saying prayers for you. I know you're not feeling well, so prayers for you. Lisa says, I used to live in Reno and used to drive through Carson City to Genoa for work.
Oh
Small
yeah,
world. Small world. Oh,
yeah.
thank you for
That's
being here.
my neighborhood.
So let me ask you, here's a question that we didn't talk about last time. So, for example, I'm about to go into this anxiety thing, and we are just about to get there, and I'm like, oh my god, it's coming. I can feel the anxiety coming up. I can feel the pressure. I think I've only had in my life one time where I was completely freaked out. I don't know if it was a panic attack, but I think it was. But what do you do? Is it too late the moment that feeling happens to get into the other place?
Yeah, the answer is maybe. The answer is maybe. So I know, and I don't mean to say that they never happen today.
Sure.
So occasionally I will kind of get off track, like I'm sure everyone,
Yeah.
and it'll happen. I think it's a really good reminder for me. So I can usually sense them a couple of days in advance, like an earthquake, right? Like I can kind of sense that they're coming, and you just feel off a little bit. So, but if it's the point that's happening, and it's happening and you're in it, the first thing is to ground yourself. Like, where are you? Right? Because probably mentally you are not, yeah, grounding.
Right.
You are not here, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking about what you have to do in an hour, what you did an hour ago, what 2 days ago. You're thinking about you're not where you are. So get to grounding as soon as possible. Get to a place where you can sit and close your eyes as soon as possible. Start to breathe in. One of the heart mind coherence meditation is super easy, super fast. You place your hand on your heart, you take a deep breath in, you hold it for the count of 4, and exhale out slowly. Do that 3 times. Let your breathing return to normal and start to think about the happiest, most joyful moment in your life.
Mm.
Think about your wedding day. Think about when your child was born. Think about um, something, you got a bonus at work and it was way more than you expected. You had something, highlight moments in your life, right? Think of those. Like, don't be afraid to go too big, and just know that it'll pass. And depending on how bad they are, it is, you're going to do the debrief after.
Right.
Right now, we're just trying to get you through the next 15 minutes. This happened on the couch the other night,
Mm.
about a week ago. I had a tingling in my arm, so I thought I was going to have a heart attack and die. Right? Tingling in the arm, heart attack and die. Now, I sleep sometimes like this, and I
Mm.
think I made my arm go to sleep.
Right.
And so, but the panic attack didn't care about the logic. So I had to sit down. I had to, get through it, which I did. I told my husband, and I knew I was having one, and it stopped, and we realized that I was probably overtired. This usually, I would say, 9 times out of 10, when I do the debrief after, because I'm a big one of debrief after, because once it's done and gone away and it's an hour later, I really look back and say, okay, what was I doing in the 5 to 6 hours ahead of time, the 2 to 3 days? And I can tell you most of the time it's exhaustion, it's ruminating on a problem, it's worrying about something, it's uncertainty. I was worried about having this conversation with my employee slash cousin's wife slash, you know, problem, and I knew it had to happen, and I really hadn't spent a lot of time thinking about it, but it must have been there circulating. So I would, after it passes, do a debrief, and see what was it that triggered it. And sometimes, you know, believe it or not, we're all empathic. Every single one of us here is empathic, and sometimes you could be picking up the stress and anxiety of the person next to you, the person in the other room, the person on the street. I mean, I've had to walk out of Walmart, let me tell you, at Christmas time, because it's crazy, you know. And I didn't know for the longest time, even like I said, I didn't know what a chakra was. I didn't know what being empathic meant. I mean, you literally can feel what other person is feeling. You know, I had a client, her daughter had deep vein thrombosis, if you guys know what that is. The client is describing this really scary situation that happened with the daughter, and I could feel it. I could feel it in my leg. I thought I was going to have to, I was like, you have to stop talking. Because I could feel the daughter's pain from 3 weeks ago, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So like, here's this, I put this on my desk for when I talk to clients or when I'm doing a live, and this is Amazonite.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Amazonite helps with anxiety.
Love it.
Amazonite, let me say that again, everybody, helps with anxiety. So I have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stones right here next to the mouse, and it's my go-to. Like, if I'm going to do something, oh, look at how cute that is.
That's a serpentine Buddha.
I love that.
Right next to my computer.
I have the rose quartz.
Yeah.
I have fluorite.
Oh, I love that fluorite.
I have this is a new one, dragon's blood jasper.
I love it. Yeah, yeah.
And then I have hematite, hematite and black tourmaline. And then I also have the Amazonite. So I have all these here, just sitting here. And whether it's for me or for the people that I'm talking to, they're just there, that if I'm feeling I can just go ahead and grab it.
Yeah.
Kim says, you are amazing, Danette. Yes, she is.
Aw, thank you. Thank you.
Um,
Aura, I pick it. Yeah. She says, I pick it up just passing people. Yeah. I was having a really good day once. I was with my husband, my son, and my granddaughter. We were at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and it couldn't have been better. The day couldn't have been better. And all of a sudden this came on. And honestly, I looked around. I said, okay, which one of you in this room? And I said, I have to go into the other room. You guys can catch up to me, or I'll catch up to you. But I was like, somebody in this room is not feeling good right now. But
and that's what we teach. We teach people to observe and not absorb.
Yes.
So true. So true. Andrea says, does it happen more to women of a certain age? She's asking for a friend.
Well, as we've established, I'm only, you know, I'm 56. I don't know that. I know that when it first started happening for me, I would say it's about 15 years ago, and it wasn't as talked about as it is now. One thing I am really noticing is kids, and one of the like key moments when you decide, like, I'm a financial planner. Am I going to write a book about this? What are my clients going to think? And so there's been a lot of angst about that. And I was at my granddaughter's when she was in kindergarten. And a little boy, his friends met him. So he's 9 years old, 10 years old. The friend said, where were you? And he said, I had a panic attack. I had to go to the nurse's office. And he's 9 years old. I was like, how does he know what a panic attack is? Why is he having one? So I think that is so important for me to start doing this work. and to get it out there and to help younger people. Because I think younger, like I have 5 nieces and they all deal with it on some level, all 5 of them. So this is, this is really happening all over.
Yeah. Cheryl says she used to get stroke-related panic attacks from sensory overload, random noise, flickering lights, etc. For a while, Xanax helped, but I have transitioned to controlling breathing and grounding. So
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Kelly says when I had them anxiety attacks, I had to stop and ask myself, what do I need to know that I'm ignoring? Somehow it would take me out of my panic into calm. I love that.
Yeah.
Rose says, as a massage therapist, she had to check in with herself, and if it's not hers, and the pain goes away. Yeah, so true. Lisa said on here, since meditating more, I have less anxiety attacks. I still have them, and sometimes they're bad. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
says my son will get them and he doesn't get warning. They're similar to a heart attack. He has to go to the emergency to rule out heart attack.
Yeah. I've been to the emergency 3 times. Once I pulled my car over in Lake Tahoe, and the fire department had to come get me. Yeah. Let's see. For me, I also start to burp. So if I burp at the same time, I think I'm having a heart attack. Or the tightness in your chest is the same as the tightness in your chest. I mean, one time I went into the emergency room with a panic attack, and they gave me nitroglycerin. Well, the panic attack went away, so they think the nitroglycerin worked. I went to a cardiologist, and he's like, you're not. Yes, I'm overweight, but you're not. I don't have any heart problems. So maybe there's something else that can help him um, know that there's a difference, but maybe not.
Christy says normalizing anxiety, panic attacks, and mental health as a whole. Even talking about it helps so much, and to know that you're not alone. So true.
Yeah.
So true. We have to look at, for you, Danette, I think it's amazing because I don't know about you, but financial planning stresses me out already. So I'm just like, what? Oh my God, I got to do what? And I got to put what? I'm going to press the wrong button on the calculator and do, I mean, these Greek sausage fingers, I don't trust them. I trust them for massage, but I don't trust them for numbers or any or computer stuff. So I think it's important to share that even you and the ability that you have and the career that you have is that we all have the capacity of losing our stuff, losing our cool, losing, it's just, I think here's an interesting piece that just came to me. If we let go of the being perfect piece, I think we wouldn't have as much anxiety.
I agree with that 1,000%. Like whatever the highest agreement is, I'm right there with you.
Yep.
I was an absolute. I call myself a recovering perfectionist.
Yep.
One of the key things that I believe is true is that we are trying to solve our life's problems with our brains. Mm-hmm. We are in fight or flight mode. There's 4 brain modes, right? Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And I heard Gabby Bernstein when I was with Elias a couple months back say freak out is the 5th one. And let me tell you, they all start with the letter F, if that's any kind of a clue about what they're doing. What I'm suggesting is that if we solve our problems with our heart, if we, instead of asking our brain, what should I do about this? Maybe it's a uncomfortable situation. Maybe it's unfortunate. Maybe there's a health scare, whatever it is. If I ask my heart, what do you think I should do? Which is just me. It's just myself. It's the universe. It's love. It's God. If you believe that, it's whatever you want to call it. But it will, and we've been asking our brains, and our brain can only do fight or flight. It cannot know what the future is. It doesn't know what our past lives are. It doesn't know if there's another dimension. It doesn't know the totality of the universe. A
Right.
friend of mine talked to his wife after she had passed away. And one of the things she said in this meditation he did was, she says, I don't know how I fit inside my body because there's so much now. I don't know how I fit. And our bodies are just a tiny. Yeah, yeah. Sheila, I hear that. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, so if we use our heart, this is, like I said, I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know what a chakra was. And I started this journey and I just learned how to ask for help from my heart center. And your heart center, I'll give you an example. How often it just becomes automatic. There's a conference that I saw, um, that's May 31st, and Elias and I are going to go to a conference in Tampa on May 19th, something like that, May 19th, 2021.
Right.
And this other conference I saw last night, it's also Brendan Bouchard is going to be speaking at it. It's one that I saw a year ago. I said, oh, if I see that again, I'm going to go to it. And I was like, gosh, but that's three conferences. I've got one in the end of June. So that would be 3 conferences in a month. It's a lot of time away. It's a big expense. Should I go? And I said, well, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting around for a sign. Should I go? So I want to go, but I'm just going to wait for a sign. I'm not going to agonize over should I go or shouldn't I go?
You can't. And it's what I've said for years. Rose is cute. Love that. Ask the heart. It's what I've said for years. This needs to talk to this, and what we tend to do. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. This talks to this. What we tend to do is this talking to this. What we need to do is have this talk to this.
Yeah.
We have to have our heart talk to our brain and say, simmer down now. Just simmer. This needs to do the talking.
Yeah.
And
our brains can Google stuff, right? Once I decide if I'm going to go to the conference, then my brain can get me there. Then my brain can book my flights and organize my room. I mean, the conference that I'm thinking about adding on is in Austin, Texas. I have one of my dearest girlfriends, Austin, Texas. I've got a place to stay. I thought about reaching out to her and see if she's going to be in town. That might be here's your sign, go. Thank you, Rachel. So it is. If we start here, our heart is connected to the energy that's all around us. I mean, it's, it knows what's the best next step for us to take in every situation, whatever we're dealing with.
So if we tend to look at the heart and we move through anxiety from coming from, like you said, place your hand on the center of your heart and breathe and just say, what do you need right now? Mm-hmm. What do you need right now? Meaning me. What do I need right now? And, sometimes if someone's in a full-blown panic attack, I've had a couple clients that are full-blown and they can't even hear what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, what's a reminder? Like you said, what's your happy place? If, even if you were like feeling it coming on and you had it on your phone, that these are things to go to. This is what we need. This is what you need. And here's what you need to ask yourself to get yourself out of there is amazing. And I know that when we talked last time, you went through your calm piece. And I think that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. You do. So we don't run out of time. You do have
the time goes by really fast.
I know.
On this.
tell everybody what's coming up for you.
Oh my gosh. So I am in the process of launching this second career. I still love being a financial advisor and a financial planner. So it's amazing, right? It's amazing. So I'm getting ready to launch a class called Fall Asleep Fast, and that class, that's one of the things when I was really in the height of my panic attacks. I was not taking care of myself, and sleep was one of the things that wasn't happening. By the time I went to bed at night, it was my first quiet moment of the day. And I would stay up for hours and hours. I mean, sometimes 1, 2 in the morning. And I had to be at work in Reno, and I live in Gardnerville, for those of you that know where Gardnerville is. And that's an hour and 10-minute drive and an hour to get ready. I mean, by 8:30 in the morning, I was ready for second breakfast. I mean, it was a crazy situation. 2 kids, husband. My husband stayed home to take care of the kids, so life was crazy. So I'm talking about the techniques that I use now. Now I go to bed, my head hits the pillow, and I'm out. I mean,
Mhm.
10 minutes tops. And I think people would want to know that. And so once I did that, I took Denise Lynn's Dream Coach certification class. So if anyone's interested in connecting on dreams, let me know, because I've been fascinated by dreams. So in this free online class that I'm delivering, it's going to have a whole section on lucid dreaming, interpreting your dreams. Um, there was 4 part. Oh, what to do if you have a nightmare, right? Because that's part, like, you want to know what to do. Did we talk about this before? What to do if you have a nightmare?
No.
If you wake up in the middle of the night and you have a nightmare, just real quick, the first thing you do is don't recall it. Like, the first thing is let it go as quickly. Dreams go away really quickly. So a lot of people say I don't dream. Well, it's because they go away so very quickly. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you had a horrible nightmare, which happens, to me, especially when I'm exhausted, right? Let it go as quickly as possible, and then tell yourself you're safe. Do the deep breathing. Breathe in, hold, relax, to say I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, and then try to make yourself laugh. You cannot be scared and terrified from a dream and laughing at the same time. So think of something that you just find funny. And one of the things for me is this stupid scene in the movie Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell. And he's Ricky Bobby, and he says he's paralyzed, and he stabs this knife into his leg and then is writhing in pain. I've seen it 100 times. It makes me laugh in the middle of the night. If I have a nightmare, I think of that scene, and it still makes me laugh. I don't know why. I think that's so funny. His reaction, I mean, the things he thinks of is just crazy. So that's how it goes. And so I'm releasing the class. The other really fun thing I've been doing is making journals and selling. I have them listed on Amazon. So if you go into Amazon and type in Danette Lowe, you'll get to see both of the podcasts and these journals. I have 4 so far.
I
One
love
of them, one of them's Fall Asleep Fast. One of them's called the Dump Truck Journal. And Dump Truck Journal is you dump all of your thoughts from the day in it, no judgment, and that helps make it easier to go to sleep at night. I have a gratitude journal and a sea turtle journal because I love sea turtles right now. So I made a sea turtle journal. And they're all lined, and they're 6 by 9, roughly 120 pages. And oh, yeah, that's it. And I'm not a graphic designer, I'm a financial advisor. And I made all of those using Canva. Yep, yep, yep. There you go. That's Danette
awesome.
Lowe on Amazon. That's what you get.
Yeah, I love that. That is good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Now, we were talking briefly because Rose is in the class, and Dolores in the class, you and I, and Dougal's way of doing coaching through color is interesting because there's I want to say there's 3 sections, and we talk about the business, prosperity, and abundance. We talk about the relationship, family, and coworkers, and then we talk about the soul and the spirit. And there's several different colors. It's not Don't always think about the colors of the chakras. They're different, and each color means something. And there's an exercise with um, each color. And I have to tell you that using this within the coaching program is awesome. And you have a special coming up for coaching, don't you?
I do. What I did is I want to practice this technique that we've learned. I'm really excited by the framework that we've learned. When I signed up for the class, I just fell in love with Dougal Fraser, and so I signed up for the class. I didn't really understand what it was going to be about. So I want to practice doing this. I want to incorporate his framework into my calm method. And so what I'm offering is a 45-minute session for $90, which is not good. Once that book's up, I'm not going to keep the price that low. I think that's a really low price, but I really want to practice this framework and do that. So if you go to shinefirsttoday.com and click the coaching tab, you can book in, and my Calendly is linked up to it, and you can pay with credit card. And I'm really excited about doing that.
That's awesome. We'll
Yeah.
have to talk offline on how to get Calendly fixed, because mine, I'm like, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Hey, can we go to, I think, Stacy? Stacy, what's going on there? My husband says I'm screaming. I feel like I'm just trying to get my feelings across.
We'll give her a moment.
Yeah.
We'll give her a moment.
Yeah. Let's. Don't you stick that fork in your leg, Ricky Bobby. Delora, isn't that the funniest?
It's Delora, and Delora wants you to tell me if there's any Greek restaurants in Portland. I told her there aren't any that are like worthy.
You know what? Let's go to San Diego. We went to, I think it was Greek. Yeah, Greek in San Diego near the park harbor.
I love San Diego. One of my San Diego was my second place to move to. If it wasn't Washington State or Washington, Oregon, it was going to be San Diego, because I just fell in love with it. It just the only thing that bothers me in San Diego while we're waiting for Stacy is they have these bulbous seaweed things that freaks the crap out of me. They want one wrapped around my leg when I was in the water. I'm like, ooh, and it creeped me out. Like, and you can't see, not like, when you're in the where is it where we were, like, where I just lost my train of thought, in the
East Coast.
No, when I was on a cruise and we went to like the Cayman Islands or whatever, you could see right through that water. It was beautiful. But thing that wrapped around my leg, I was like, oh, creep me out. All right, there's Stacy.
Stacy, I try to tell him how. Yeah, okay. And he tells, yeah. When I have a husband too, 34 years. Yeah, 34. We just celebrated 34 years. Whenever I'm having a panic attack, he asks me what's wrong, right? I don't know what's wrong. If I knew what was wrong, I would probably wouldn't have a panic attack, right? We all have this way of dealing with it. So I don't I don't know if you are screaming or if you're just trying to get some help in that moment, because it's such a vulnerable moment, right? When this is happening to you, it's like you just don't have any control. And and sometimes we want our family to help fix this for us, and as much as they love us, they can't.
Right.
What I want you to do is let me think, let me connect. Maybe writing in a journal, like we were just talking about, is the thing for you, so that you can, when I write in the journal, I'm writing to my heart center. I'm writing to my spirit guides, to God. Sometimes I write, Dear God, Spirit, Universe, Grandmother, Father. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, depending on how bad the panic attack is, I will call in every non physical entity that I can think of to help me with what's going on. So, if you and your husband are developing this pattern that he feels like you're screaming and you're just trying to get help, and you're just trying to get through this panic, take a time out from that and pick up a piece of paper and pen, and write when you can. I mean, get yourself grounded. Drink a glass of water. Drinking a glass of water is incredible for helping with anxiety and panic attacks, because any kind of eating actually helps make you feel grounded, but drinking a glass of water, because if you're dehydrated, but give that a try, Stacy, and ask your heart for help, because right now, if you're having that communication friction with your husband, that's not helping you and it's not helping him. So take a step back from that pattern. Know that you love him, he loves you, and try some things different, and write in the journal. Ask your heart to tell you what the next step is.
So true. So true. Um uh did you have a bright orange thong on? I don't wear the thong um flippers in the water, but thank you for asking, Marty Pants. Uh so our interaction is not helping either of us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
would it be something to say something like this? I wish I could express what I'm going through right now. I can't. Could you give me 15 minutes
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
really like put it on a parking lot? And Delora, this is great. Ask him to hold your hand and breathe with you when you're not in crisis mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
very nice. Making him part of the situation
Yeah.
is excellent. Is excellent. Um,
Yeah.
I'm double checking. I've got Facebook on the cell phone as well because lately I just want to. We've had, thank God, not today, but we've had some. Unfortunately, we've had some scammers pop in, so I
Yeah.
had to go and go through all the followers and anybody that looked like. Hmm,
Yeah.
I
Like
had to like block them.
Facebook profile.
They will get there now, and it's just
Yeah.
crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I was watching a live with Lisa Williams, and she was having a terrible time because they're offering to send people to another website, like she's authorizing it and using your reputation. And so we'll
Horrible.
never put that in the comments for you to go to some
Right.
other site.
I was on Instagram and and I saw John Holland in there and I was like, "Oh yeah, like John Holland is really going to be on my Instagram live." And then I said, "All right, John Holland, where do we meet each other?" And he listened, and I'm like, oh my God, it's John.
And you had a star crush, right?
Well, I want you to know that you are welcome to come back any single time
Oh,
you
thank you
want.
so much.
Any
Thank
single
you.
time you want. I did
These
not
are so much fun.
and I just want you to know that love your energy. I'm excited, and we still have to do our Oregon dinner. And,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and thank you
I
for being.
wanted to go to the beach with you guys last weekend.
Oh, it's so nice. It was
Yeah,
nice.
those are really some nice
Uh,
places. I
I'm
love
going to
Florida.
delete this comment to Laura because in case John Holland comes on there, I don't want John Holland to think that I trashed him.
Yeah.
So because I didn't. All right, everyone, thank you for being here. A couple
Thank you
things to let you
all.
know. Next week we have Laura Sessunis being with us. We're going to talk about a healing circle and the Akashic record.
Oh,
So
fun.
super excited to have Laura on
Next Wednesday?
next Wednesday because all the lives are on Wednesdays now.
Wednesday.
And this Saturday, we have retreat info. If you want to know what it's like to be on a retreat, what we do, come join Ginger Perick and I on our retreats. And then also, I'm doing a free class. It's a free class coming up. We've done it before, but we haven't done it in a while. It is I will say, one of my favorites. It is Get the Yuck Out. What stops you blocks you. It's an online free Zoom workshop on Sunday, April 23rd. So come join me. We're going to talk about identifying the blocks, permission of forgiveness, saying yes to you, moving beyond fine. We all know what fine stands for, and giving yourself permission to feel. So if you go to eliaspatris.com under events and appearances, you'll see everything that's going on. We also have, thank you. We also have an animal spirit workshop on the 22nd. So come join for that. We got a lot going on, everybody. A lot going on. All right, everyone. Danette, stay for a moment. Remember, we are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And when we educate, we grow. There is unity in community. From our hearts to yours. Thanks, everybody. Be well. And
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you soon. Take care.